Happy day, golfers. Every time you ask somebody if they golf, their answer always is not well, not too good, son of a gun. I always answer yes. That throws people for a loop, just sharing with you. You know, I had a golf lesson recently, though, and the guy giving me the lesson, he looked at me very seriously and he said, "Have you ever considered tennis?" Just saying. Okay, we got the U.S. Department of Transportation. Recently, they announced that miniature horses are now officially allowed to fly as a service animal in all cabins of commercial planes. New guidelines, you know, I used to just be about dogs and maybe cats, I suppose. It's all about emotional support, right? And you need psychiatric care brought to you by an animal of your choice. I can't make this stuff up. There's going to be a little horse. Doesn't matter how big it is, it's a horse. A horse is a horse is a horse, kind of like a duck, don't you know? And that's going to be on a plane. Are you kidding me? They say it's true. Wow, I'm going to buy a plane again. I used to have one years ago, and then I got poor for a while. I had to sell it, but it's time. I don't want a horse sitting beside me. Canadian political history recently was made when the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, was found guilty for the second time when he contravened the Conflict of Interest Act. It's kind of old news now, but more old news is his response. He says, "I take responsibility for all the mistakes that I make, yet you know what? I disagree with everything the commissioner said." You always got to get in the last word. It's kind of like that groping thing that went on a while ago. A woman must be believed. Whatever a woman says, we got to believe it. Well, a woman showed up and said, "He groped me," the prime mistake. He said, hey, we look at things differently. I mean, this guy, you talk about a hypocrite, but he seems to continue. He's like a Teflon man. You know, he got seems to continue on in the polls, and polls are for strippers, and I understand that, but you know what? They are a measure. We read them, we watch them, and people kind of react accordingly. The good news is often that election day polls don't matter. We can only hope in Canada that happens. He, the Prime Minister of Canada, based on all of these things that have been done or that he's done, he shouldn't be allowed to run. There should be a law. Where's a law when you need it? I mean, most laws aren't needed, and now we actually need one. If you do something bad and you're in political office, you shouldn't be allowed to run. I mean, when he started as a member of parliament, I think he was taking a big paycheck from the taxpayer, and he went out and he raised, or made rather, about $500,000 giving speeches or something. That was a conflict, and he said, "Oh, I was caught, I'll give it back. I'm sorry that I was caught, not I'm sorry that I did it." I mean, right then and there, he shouldn't have been allowed to do anything again because he's a bad guy, right? It goes on and on. What is wrong with this system? Canadians, come out of the bloody ether. Somebody needs to do something. Revolution time, something. Boy, oh boy, blacklist that guy. He shouldn't be allowed. And he does have a sense of humor, though. Humor's good, because recently he was in Alberta and he said, "We're going to pick up some more seats here in the next election." That's a joke. That's funny. They don't like him much. He's destroyed the province. He's attacked his own people. He won't allow them to make any more oil. He won't allow that either. He won't allow him to take the oil out of the ground, right? Properly. He won't allow things. He's hurting the province. He's beating them up every day, yet he takes their money. And what does he do with the money? He gives it to people in other countries because he's a globalist. He wants everybody to be poor, I guess. I don't get it. This guy is totally out of touch. He's totally out of his mind. And he now says, Albertans will give me more support. Well, we're having a moment of silence. It's so profound. Okay, now we're going to jump over to Texas. So many people in the left-wing press, particularly in Canada, because of course it's owned by Trudeau, and his gang of goofs, they all say, now we need more gun control because look what happened in Texas. You know what's really happening in Texas? More people now, ever since this tragic shooting, people now are buying more guns, they're taking more lessons, and now the state, the Republican governor said, hey, we got to loosen up the gun laws. I mean, somebody there, a good guy, should have been able to stop this, and he didn't, so the gun laws are going to be better. September 1st, it'll be now easier to carry and store guns in Texas, where 5 of the 20th deadliest shootings in the United States of America occurred recently. That's a pretty darn good. Just a little bit more about guns. Over 20 million Americans now have concealed carry permits, with millions more eager to acquire the permit and obtain training and instruction, and they're doing it as we speak. It's estimated that 5 million of these people are women, and more coming on board all the time, and then you run back or flip back over to Canada, go north. and you have the prime mistake in all of his people, which rolls with the socialist system, saying you can't defend yourself. We won't allow it. You can't have mace, you can't have pepper spray, and there's a sexual assault in Canada every 17 minutes. That's true. But that's okay. We're going to give you better counseling when it's over. These guys are crazy in Canada. They're crazy in a lot of places, but all you Canadians, vote right. I mean, show up and do it for the right party. Go to the right party. Kind of sounds like the old days when people are drinking with both hands, but y'all know what I mean. Pay attention. See ya.